And this is from Zero Hedge. Failure could set the world on fire. Kissinger warns world leaders of epochal period post-outbreak. The last time we heard from former US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, he was warning that a permanent conflict between Washington and Beijing would be unwinnable and lead to a catastrophic outcome. It is no longer possible to think that one side can dominate the other. It will be worse than the world wars that ruined European civilization, said Kissinger. And now the former US Secretary of State has an even more ominous warning. The US must protect its citizens from disease while starting the urgent work of planning for a new epoch. Oh, a new epoch, Mr. Kissinger. Fancy that. The surreal atmosphere of the CV outbreak calls to mind how I felt as a young man in the 84th Infantry Division during the Battle of the Bulge. Now, as in late 1944, there is a sense of inchoate danger, aimed not at any particular person but striking randomly with devastation. But the 96-year-old notes there is an important difference between that faraway time and ours. American endurance then was fortified by an ultimate national purpose. Now, in a divided country, efficient and far-sighted government is necessary to overcome obstacles unprecedented in magnitude and global scope. Sustaining the public trust is crucial to social solidarity, to the relation of societies with each other, and to international peace and stability. Yes, sustaining the public trust, absolutely, and that's why the government should be absolutely transparent. And if there was ever a case for freedom of speech, this is it. Nations cohere and flourish on the belief that their institutions can foresee calamity, arrest its impact and restore stability. When the CV outbreak is over, many countries' institutions will be perceived as having failed. Whether this judgment is objectively fair is irrelevant. The reality is the world will never be the same after CV. To argue now about the past only makes it harder to do what has to be done. CV has struck with unprecedented scale and ferocity. It's spread and exponential. The US cases are doubling every 5th day. At this writing there is no cure. Medical supplies are insufficient to cope with the widening waves of cases. Intensive care units are on the verge and beyond of being overwhelmed. Testing is inadequate to the task of identifying the extent of infection, much less reversing its spread. A successful vaccine could be 12 to 18 months away. The US administration has done a solid job in avoiding immediate catastrophe. The ultimate test will be whether the outbreak spread can be arrested and then reversed in a manner and at a scale that maintains public confidence in Americans' ability to govern themselves. This crisis effort, however vast and necessary, must not crowd out the urgent task of launching a parallel enterprise for the transition to the post-CV order. There you go. Not the New World Order, not the liberal world order, but the post-CV order. Well, thanks for giving that heads up, Henry. Leaders are dealing with the crisis on a largely national basis, but the outbreak society-dissolving effects do not recognise borders. While the assault on human health will hopefully be temporary, the political and economic upheaval it has unleashed could last for generations. No country, not even the US, can, in a purely national effort, overcome the outbreak. Addressing the necessities of the moment must ultimately be coupled with a global collaborative vision and program. Oh, a global collaborative vision and program. If we cannot do both in tandem, we will face the worst of each. Drawing upon his lessons from the development of the Marshall Plan and the Manhattan Project, Kissinger believes that the US is obliged to undertake a major effort in 3 domains. First, shore up global resilience to infectious disease. Triumphs of medical science like the polio vaccine and the eradication of smallpox, or the emerging statistical technical marvel of medical diagnosis through artificial intelligence, have lulled us into a dangerous complacency. We need to develop new techniques and technologies for infection control and commensurate vaccines. Vaccines! Bill Gates, did you hear that? Across large populations. Cities, states and regions must consistently prepare to protect their people from outbreaks through stockpiling, cooperative planning and exploration of the frontiers of science. Wow, sounds like Star Trek, don't it? Second, strive to heal the wounds of the world economy. Global leaders have learned important lessons from the 2008 financial crisis. So all of the situations, all of the debt that was around in 2008 has increased. We're now in a worse situation. Oh my God. So we're going to heal the wounds. The current economic crisis is more complex. The contraction unleashed by CV is, in its speed and global scale, unlike anything ever known in history, and necessary public health measures such as social distancing and closing schools and businesses are contributing to the economic pain. Programs should also seek to ameliorate the effects of impending chaos on the world's most vulnerable populations. Third, safeguard the principles of the liberal world order. Oh my God. The liberal world order. Isn't that globalism? Isn't that like the new world order? Isn't it interesting when you find the right article? They just put it right out there, right in front of your face, don't they? The founding legend of modern government is a walled city protected by powerful rulers, sometimes despotic, other times benevolent, yet always strong enough to protect the people from an external enemy. Enlightenment thinkers reframed this concept, arguing that the purpose of the legitimate state is to provide for the fundamental needs of the people: security, order, economic well-being, and justice. Individuals cannot secure these things on their own. You're kidding me. Wow, I never knew that. We can't secure justice on our own and economic well-being. Are you kidding me? You see, this is the nanny state, folks. This is the nanny state, just for you. The outbreak has prompted an anachronism, a revival of the walled city in an age when prosperity depends on global trade and movement of people. The world's democracies need to defend and sustain their Enlightenment values, a global retreat from balancing power with legitimacy. There you go, that's an interesting point, isn't it? A global retreat from balancing power with legitimacy. In other words, just how far can you go pushing your people into a corner, showing your power, flexing your muscles, whilst maintaining legitimacy as a democratic organization. A global retreat from balancing power with legitimacy will cause the social contract to disintegrate both domestically and internationally. Yet this millennial issue of legitimacy and power cannot be settled simultaneously with the effort to overcome the outbreak. Restraint is necessary on all sides, in both domestic politics and international diplomacy. Priorities must be established. We went on from the Battle of the Bulge into a world of growing prosperity and enhanced human dignity. Now we live in an epochal period. The historic challenge for leaders is to manage the crisis whilst building the future. Failure could set the world on fire. So there you go. It just shows you that they're taking advantage of a situation and they are playing a gambit here to take over society, to usher in the liberal world order, to usher in globalism or Marxism. And maybe that's what the $2,000 is all about. Universal basic income. Welcome to the machine. Well, if you enjoyed that, please like, comment and subscribe below. And in the meantime, this is Hound Dog Steve signing off. We'll talk to you very, very shortly. See you now. Bye.